What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Gooner channel, a channel 100% dedicated to the Arsenal. Yesterday, I did a video on the top 5 free transfers I wanted to see come to Arsenal. And today, one of them's all over the news, and that's Marco Asensio. It turns out that he is now unlikely to sign a contract extension at Real Madrid and will be leaving this summer. Real Madrid have a few people whose contracts are up for expiry this summer. They seem to have negotiated all of them. On the list was Karim Benzema, Luka Modric and Tony Kroos. They're determined to keep those. I think the sticking point for Marco Asensio was that he's only played 14 times this season and come off the bench 14 times. He's scored 9 goals, 6 assists. He's played really well, but he wants more game time. And that's the sticking point. They don't seem to see him as a long-term future of the club, and they're not guaranteeing him minutes. So he's leaving. And the clubs that are apparently in for him, apart from Arsenal and Aston Villa, are AC Milan and Paris Saint-Germain. Paris Saint-Germain, another club going through huge changes. There's been an on-off, will he, won't he leave with Kylian Mbappe. We know Lionel Messi is leaving. They are totally rebuilding that team, and they're looking for more youthful players. So he might not be an obvious fit, but they certainly could do with augmenting the right wing. Even though I don't necessarily think he would get guaranteed more minutes than he did at Real Madrid. Similarly at Arsenal, I think if he comes in as an understudy to Bukayo Saka's played every game for the last 2 seasons. Who wants to be his understudy? Asensio doesn't really play well elsewhere. Are you really going to move Bukayo Saka? So how's he going to get game time with us? But if he were to join Paris Saint-Germain or Arsenal, obviously you have Champions League football, as you do with AC Milan, but I would argue a slightly better chance of winning it with one of those two teams. Acknowledging AC Milan did really well to get to the semi-finals, it is a cup competition, but I think Arsenal are a better prospect. Whether he would join AC Milan and get game time, yes, I think he would, but I don't see him winning anything with AC Milan domestically either. So his choices, if you looked at the 4 that are really being talked about, Aston Villa comes out, I think, the best. If he goes to Aston Villa, he's definitely upgrade on Leon Bailey. He will play. He could play 38 games if fit and really make a splash. But there's a similar problem at Villa to AC Milan, and that is, yes, I think Villa could win a cup. And I'm not saying that they definitely can't make the top 4. Unai Emery's had a bright start. He's really turned things around. It's been a disorganised club. They've obviously got spending power, and they have spent money in the transfer market, and it's largely not worked out how they wanted. Marco Asensio, I think, is exactly the right kind of player for Aston Villa to be signing, and if they get him, it'll be a real coup and a marquee signing. For Paris Saint-Germain, Arsenal, AC Milan, I don't think he would count as that.
We interrupt this programme to bring you a news flash from Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, who have just announced they will be relaying their pitch with sheets of A4. When asked why, it is apparently because on paper they can beat anyone. Thank you, I'm here all week.
My suggestion is that Arsenal are not going to be interested in Marco Asensio right now. And the key thing here is nice to have an upgrade on Reiss Nelson, which is what I guess he would be. Gabby Jesus also plays right wing, by the way, so it's not like a position that we're short in. We have some real gaps in our team and some players like Tierney and like Granit Xhaka who are apparently leaving, and we have to replace those positions before we look at... If we don't sign a right winger this summer, I don't think anyone's going to be bothered. There is also Moussa Diaby being talked about. He can play left and right, and I think that we're looking at a situation now that's being driven by Marco Asensio wanting to sort his future out and his agents getting busy. Apart from Villa, I think the rest of these clubs are going to hold back and see what they can do, especially a team like Paris Saint-Germain under a huge rebuilding, and I think we're going to do the same. So, I know I put him in my second place for free transfers. Am I flip-flopping? I think I might be No, I'm going to stick with it. We should probably hold back on Marco Asensio till we've fixed all the other positions and not get sidetracked at a critical time. If he's still available in June, later in June, I think we go for him. Fantastic. Once we've done the main business. They're my thoughts. I now want to hear your thoughts. I've shown you mine. Now show me yours. Until I do hear from you, hit subscribe. Why not? Go on. Be lucky. Lots of love.